campaign, because it's led by young people from 42nd Street, is very pragmatic, quite humble. They're not asking for us to end child poverty in a generation. They're not asking for that. What they're asking for is a right to a creative life and more creative spaces.
It's about all young people. It's really about all of us, because being creative is actually a human right. It's the Human Right Article 27.
I think it's about that kind of freedom within that could offer, really. That we don't see art as only, we're interested in art and creativity if it's going to end up in a, as a famous artist. We don't do the same with sport. We don't say everyone that goes swimming needs to become an Olympic swimmer. And I just see that real validation in that kind of space to be creative without judgment, without us saying whether it's good or bad. It's quite often what we're creating is about ourselves and our lives and our experiences. So there can't be a judgment of good or bad. It's a working out for the individual. So I think access to a creative life is about that we encourage that people are creative, that they don't get told very early, that young people have this space, along that they would have sports space, they would have space just to experiment and explore the materials, maybe in a room in every school or in health settings and social care settings. And I think it would just kind of free us up that we can access it, because what we do through our life journeys is sometimes we pick it up if we've been through trauma, or we saw with the COVID pandemic, we went to creativity, or in our old age we might go to it. But if we can encourage young people at the start to feel like they're creative and support that, one, it's a great skill for tackling the environmental issues we're having, the societal issues we're having, to be creative. And also it might be something that supports them. It's like a self-care thing. So our young people might access their sketchbooks in the night when there's no other services or support around. It's a kind of life skill that can be explored through the life course, really.
Creativity doesn't have to be about producing something beautiful. For me, creativity was literally a case of breaking things, but the freedom to do that and the support to be told you don't have to produce a canvas that's gorgeous and people will go, this is nice. You can do something quite volatile, but you can feel something really powerful in the process. All art is expression and creativity, but creativity doesn't necessarily have to mean an art piece at the end. Creativity is really a mindset, it's curiosity, it's experimentation.
Open up creativity. Art has a lot of snobbery and entitlement linked to it, and I want to kind of get rid of that, because we are all creative in our nature.
So giving people the freedom to choose what they need should definitely be advocated for within these new policies around creative health, because a lot of them are just about projects.
And unless you are a young person who is really good at art at school and does it as part of your curriculum, you may not have access to the arts at all. And in terms of outside of school, you'd be quite lucky to have access to lots of the amazing things that happen across Manchester, unless you're plugged into them, unless you can afford them, and unless your parents might support you.
Horsefall is a starting point for people to recognise that creativity can actually be a job. They're then getting involved with other art projects across the city. Some of them are applying to university to do art courses. So I think for me, it's like that stepping stone for a lot of young people who perhaps have been told you can't draw.
I understand that art and creativity are incredibly complex processes with multiple uses and benefits from finding your voice, discovering parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed, and meeting new people. In moments of fun, that's where we find glimmers of hope, and creativity is really a way of being, and creativity is joy.
We've been creative. From the cave age to the COVID age, we reach out and we communicate through art, through visuals, through music. It's how we exist as a human race. And no more important now than it was then. And no more important to our young people now than it was then.
Creativity is life-saving. I used to watch X Factor and they'd be like, oh yeah, like because I sing, I'm alive, like singing's the reason I'm alive. And I used to be like, oh my gosh, really? But now I like, really, but now I actually really understand that as a person. Like if I didn't have creativity, I don't think I'd be alive right now, I'm gonna be honest.
We are the Aurora Borealis. Limitless brilliance, outwitting algorithms, Fibonacci fingerprints, rose-tinted labyrinths, the chaos composed within a helical pattern. Inside black holes we are lanterns, rippling atoms, portals to unknown planets, cerebral daydreams, destiny reimagined.